Hello everyone, I am Jess, and this is going to be about your subconscious blocks that are blocking your money flow. I've been in business for a while, and when I started my business, I thought that most of my business success was going to come from strategy and knowing exactly how to sell, what to sell, running ads, doing content, all of the things. Until I found myself stuck in my business and I felt like I was doing all the right things, but I was not seeing the success that I truly wanted. At that time, I had to become honest with myself and look at deeper meanings behind what was going on within me and why the success that I desired wasn't there. And what I learned really blew my mind because I don't think we speak about those subconscious blocks enough. We all know about trauma and how that might show up in your relationship and in your life and how that might be blocking you. But I want to take it a step further and truly talk about how your subconscious blocks will affect you in your business and in your money flow. Because ultimately, the more successful you are in business, you will be making more money. But if you are not as successful as you'd like to be in your business, it will be blocking you from the money that you want to make. What are subconscious blocks? Subconscious blocks are like your hidden fears or your hidden beliefs about you, what you think you can achieve, what you think you can create, what you deserve. And it's blocking you from taking action and receiving the success that you desire. How these blocks are formed, it's usually through past experiences, anything that has happened to you that made you believe a certain thing about yourself. Someone could have said something to you. Even an experience in childhood can form those subconscious beliefs, those subconscious blocks that are then showing up in your business today. But also conditioning, right? The way that we grow up, the things that we hear from family, friends, teachers are also the reason why we might have those subconscious blocks. And, even society and the way that we grow up, especially how we grow up as women and the messages that we receive all the time since we are young. These are conditioning pieces that will also create subconscious blocks within us. The tricky part about these subconscious blocks is that oftentimes we don't even know why they're there. They're showing up in our actions and our behaviors, but we do not understand why they're there in the first place. The cool thing about this video and what I want to give you here as value is that I will be giving you those subconscious blocks that you will be able to recognize within yourself. And then whenever that block is showing up again, you will have a tangible tool for you to be able to unblock that block. Now, I do want to also say that subconscious blocks, you do want to do deeper inner healing work and subconscious reprogramming. This is something that I do with my clients within my programs. And oftentimes is also a very specific process. So I will not be able to dive deeper into these aspects today. But even by you gaining awareness of your own subconscious blocks, you are a million steps further than another business coach who keeps spinning wheels and not getting to the success that they want to. The first subconscious block that shows up a lot for business owners is the fear of visibility, or also the fear of being seen. As a business owner, it's very important to show up online. It's important to share your message. It's important to put yourself out there. But every time you're about to hit record or put a post out there, you freeze, you overthink, you're scared about what people might think or say about you. You might be scared that they will be judging you, or if you even look good enough on camera. And maybe you've even recorded 5 reels for Instagram and you're still not posting them. They're saved in your drafts and you still haven't decided which one you want to put up or if you want to put up any of those reels at all. Now, why this subconscious block appears is because you have the fear of being rejected and you're also scared that you will be criticized. So oftentimes this can happen through the way that we grew up. We might have learned that we had to stay small to avoid being judged. When that is happening, it will be really hard for you to be fully seen as a leader. And this reminded me of myself and how I grew up. I've definitely been conditioned to be the good girl, and I would always be praised if I was the quiet one, the one that conformed, the one that didn't make anyone uncomfortable. And so I learned, hey, when I'm seen, when I speak up, it's not good. I only want to be seen and heard and speak up when I know everyone is going to agree. And this also really blocked me from sharing my message and putting myself out there the way that I truly desired. And also, to be fair, I didn't even know what I wanted to say anymore, because every time I would think about ideas, it immediately went through a filter of who I could be or what I could say or what could I show the world, and not truly who I was authentically. The way to unblock this subconscious belief is to start small. I love to tell my clients to take messy action. So post something that is imperfect and remind yourself that your message matters more than the way that you look or that the way that you portray the message. What also really helped me is to focus on who you are helping, who you are speaking to, instead of who might criticize you. The right people will need to hear your message. And if there will be people that will criticize you, screw them. No one cares. You think in your mind that you should care, but the truth is, the people that you will change their lives should be so much more important than the people who will criticize you. Let's talk about the next subconscious blocks that shows up quite a lot for us business owners and many business owners. I'm always very surprised how oftentimes I meet business owners and they tell me that this is a subconscious block of theirs. And it used to be mine too, and it no longer is. And I'm so grateful because I work through it, which is perfectionism. This might be showing up as you're constantly tweaking your offer, editing your video even more, writing a better email, and really trying to make everything sound perfect. And you want to make sure that there is no single mistake or that it all just fits together in a perfect way. And you're also scared that what will people think when it's not perfect? But I've also learned over time, perfectionism is subjective. What does perfect even mean? And I follow a lot of business coaches myself who actually do imperfect work. And I absolutely love it because it shows me that their authenticity is so much more important than the way that they might say the message or they might write the email. Again, why this happens is because you're scared to be rejected. You're scared to be criticized. So you believe that if everything is perfect, no one can find your fault at work. Oftentimes, this goes also hand in hand with imposter syndrome. If you don't trust yourself and your ability enough, and you've thrived on perfectionism for so long, you will also have to unlearn that it's okay to not always be perfect and be a human being and just show up no matter what. The best way to overcome it is to set a deadline for a specific project, a content piece, a video, an email, and just do it. Stick to the deadline, no matter how perfect or imperfect the thing is that you're putting out there. Because the truth is, your imperfect action will get more results than no action at all. If you don't take action, you will not get closer to creating the business that you want. Just take action and then learn from there. The next subconscious block that shows up quite a lot as well is the fear of failure. This shows up like you hesitating to take risks, you don't want to launch a new program, you don't want to reach out to your person to collaborate with, you don't want to put up a video, you don't want to pitch yourself to doing a talk somewhere because you're terrified it might flop. You're terrified you might hear a no. You're scared that people will not receive it the way that you put it out there. And so you ask yourself that question, what if it doesn't work? And it paralyzes you. I can tell you, this is one of the biggest things that holds people back, is believing that it's not gonna work. And I can tell you this from my own experience, from the people that I know in the coaching space, a lot of things will not work. The truth is, a lot of things will not work. You will be putting things out there and they will not work. And you gotta be okay with that. I do think we live in a world where it's all about quick results. And in a social media world like today, where it's all about quick results, we can get quickly discouraged when we are not getting the results that we want to. And then we make it about ourselves and then we don't put ourselves out there at all anymore. Why this happens is because in the past, failure might have led to harsh criticism or even shame. And so ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to protect yourself from that pain again. You don't want for it to happen again. What I have learned over time is that I try to not even use the word failure anymore, because to me, failing means that you have stopped trying overall. There's gonna be moments, yes, where, in an objective way, maybe you have failed and a project didn't go as you wanted to. You didn't get as many clients, you didn't make as much money, whatever that might be. But when you see it more as feedback, as a stepping stone, as part of the process, failure doesn't exist because you are so focused on your bigger picture. Then all of the steps that you're taking and the steps that don't go your way don't matter because you are so focused on the bigger picture and what you're truly creating. The next subconscious block that shows up quite a lot for us business owners is procrastination. So you might be putting off tasks like creating content or building your funnel. And instead, you might be distracting yourself with minor tasks like organizing your folders, doing your taxes, or doing any other thing just to stay productive, and that makes you feel good. But you know, in the back of your mind, like, this is not actually what I should be doing right now. And so you're doing the things just to stay productive, but the things that you're doing are actually not moving the needle. So for example, instead of finishing your lead magnet, you spend hours redesigning your logo. Now, why this happens is procrastination is oftentimes a response to the fear of failure or to overwhelm. And those high impact tasks that you are meant to do can feel like a lot, and they can also make you feel uncomfortable. I do think that if you want your business to move forward, you got to also do tasks that will move the needle and that also will require you to step outside of your comfort zone. Oftentimes we procrastinate because we're scared. We are wanting to stay in our comfort bubble, and we're forgetting that in order for us to have the massive success and the massive growth that we want to, we got to do things that also feel uncomfortable. So what I want you to do is I want you to identify one task that will have the biggest impact on your business today. And I want you to commit to completing it, even if it feels uncomfortable. The next subconscious block that shows up is indecision. So you get stuck overthinking everything: the logo, the color of the font, the video, the email, the program. You're overthinking. And so you are wasting valuable time trying to get everything right. Why this happens is because there is a block that is rooted in the fear of making the wrong choice, and you're scared to deal with the consequences. And that indecision keeps you in analysis paralysis. So you know that you're doing that, but at the same time, you're trying to find the perfect solution. You're scared that if you do this, something's gonna go wrong, and because of that fear, you're not moving at all. The solution to this is reminding yourself that no decision is permanent. So truly make the best choice with what you have right now, and remember that at some point things will be different again. This is not the end of it all. Yes, there's going to be minor consequences maybe, but at the same time, every single day you can decide to make a different choice and to make things differently. The next subconscious block that shows up quite a lot is overwhelm. So you actually look at your to-do list and you're like, oh my God, there's so much to be done. You're overwhelmed. And then what happens? You end up doing nothing because you freeze. And you look at your tasks and it feels like everything feels urgent, right? The funny thing about this is it doesn't leave you physically exhausted, it leaves you mentally exhausted. So you are thinking about all the things that need to get done, and you are mentally tired because of all of these things instead of actually starting to do one thing at a time. This happens because you are trying to do too much at the same time without prioritizing it. And it's often tied to a subconscious belief that you need to do it all in order for you to succeed. One exercise that has really helped me and that I share with my clients too is that visualization of you have a plastic bowl in one hand and a glass bowl in another hand. And each to-do thing on your to-do list is either way a plastic bowl or a glass bowl. What I mean with that is if you were to drop a plastic bowl, it's not gonna break. But if you drop the glass bowl, it will break. So you gotta look at your to-do list in terms of, is it a plastic bowl if I drop it, or is it a glass bowl if I drop it? If it is a plastic bowl, that means you can also push it to later and it's not a priority right now. If it is a glass bowl, this means it is a priority right now and it needs to get done ASAP. And it's also okay to let go of the rest for now or look at hiring someone, even if it's just an assistant that helps you with things 1 hour a day. being able to outsource that might also give you a lot of peace of mind. The seventh subconscious block is inconsistent action. You might be super motivated for a few days or a few weeks. You might be posting every day, you're so excited, and then other weeks you disappear. No one hears from you, there are no posts, and you disappear from your audience altogether. I definitely have been guilty of this one, where I'm super consistent for a while and then I stop doing all of the things. Why this happens, it's oftentimes tied to self-doubt and a lack of belief in the long-term success. So you might be super in it for the short term and then you might not see the results yet that you want to, and you give up on yourself. So you might be motivated when things are going well, you're getting the sales, you're getting the clients, you're getting all of that, and then there is a pause and you're doing the thing and nothing is showing up, and that's when you tend to retract and not keep going anymore. So the solution to this is create a routine that help you create consistent action. So for example, you commit to putting one post out there every day or one email out every day or every other week. Something that is super simple and easy and feasible that you know, okay, I can commit to this no matter what. Even small daily action will compound one day. I love to look at it as the compound effect. So many times we are always focusing, we might be focusing on like the big picture and the big massive action. But actually those small tiny things that you're doing in a day, eventually all of it will compound and you will have massive success at the end of the day. So don't forget that every small thing that you're doing will eventually have a huge compound effect and will completely transform your life. The next subconscious block that shows up is the fear of success. And this might surprise you because this is something I never thought I would relate to, and I've never seen myself in this one, but as I started having conversations with other entrepreneurs, they were telling me that this is something that they were going through and struggling with. And they told me that the pressure that they think success will bring, they're actually scared to now put in the work because they no longer want to be successful because they think it will create a lot more stress and pressure in their lives. So you might worry that more success will mean more responsibility, less freedom, or greater visibility, and all of that scares you, and so you're blocking yourself subconsciously. So why this happens is because maybe in the past you've hit a certain amount of success, and you remember that form of success came with a lot of stress and pressure, and it completely overwhelmed you. You didn't know how to deal with it back then, and so you told yourself, this is never going to happen again. And so this time around, you're scared to recreate that because you don't want that to happen again. What will help here is to redefine success in your own terms. Ask yourself, what does success mean for you? And this is something that really helped me last year. I was so focused on success always being externally tied to the money that I was making, the clients that I was getting. But last year, I redefined success for myself. And I said to myself, you know what, Jess, success is also your inner growth, the way that you see the world, the way that you speak, the way that you articulate yourself, your ideas that you're bringing into the world. All of those small intangible things have helped me to see success in a new light. And this way, I no longer tie myself to only the external achievements. The next subconscious block that might be showing up for you is resentment towards marketing. Big one. Oh my God, such a big one. Like even I have to laugh because something that definitely has showed up quite a lot for me too. So in this one, you might feel resistance to marketing yourself. You don't want to be seen as salesy or inauthentic, and so you don't do it at all, or you do it in super small, subtle ways that people don't even know that you have a program and that you're selling something. So in your mind, you want people to find you without having to sell anything. So you might be avoiding sending emails, talking about your programs on your Instagram stories and not doing any of that at all. This might be coming from an experience where you felt like you were too pushy, or also your own belief that you shouldn't be selling this way. I had a client once and she was like, she was following this one person and then all of a sudden she started selling her programs and she didn't like that. And I said to her, well, that's actually your own thing to resolve. Just because she's selling her programs doesn't have to do anything with her. It has everything to do with you. So look at yourself and your own beliefs about maybe selling and why you believe it's not, a a good way of doing it. The other thing as well that helped me reframe this is to look at selling a service. I believe that what I have to offer to my clients changes their lives. And so it's in my responsibility to share my offers with them. If I don't share my offers with these people, they will never know I exist and I will not be able to help them change their lives. So it's my duty to share my programs and services with them. And that has really helped me reframe this whole process of selling and talking to people about what I'm doing. And then the last subconscious block is negative self-talk. You might be constantly criticizing yourself. You might be telling yourself things like, I'm not cut for this, other people are better than me, this is not gonna work for me. And so your inner dialogue is literally killing your confidence. So maybe you're putting up a video out there and it's not getting the views that you want to, and then you're telling yourself, oh, it's because I'm not good enough. You're literally allowing yourself to look at outside things and making them something about you. And it's not helping you in your business at all. Why this happens is because this block is often rooted in low self-worth or also internalized criticism from others. What I want you to do is practice self-compassion. At the end of the day, you are still a human being. And I do think the more you show your human beingness to the world and to the people that are watching you, the easier it will be for you to unblock that and to recognize that we are all human beings with thoughts and feelings, and even things like imposter syndrome or feeling a certain way about ourselves. A lot of people that we look up to, they still sometimes struggle with believing in themselves or with feeling like they're good enough, or they're still scared to put themselves out there. So it's also about recognizing that we all have that innately within us, but what matters is how we overcome it and that we overcome it. And also what's important is to celebrate your wins, no matter how small. It is not always about external success, as I was sharing before. Maybe you've really shifted in your mindset. Maybe you've changed the way that you see the world. Maybe you finally put up or created a YouTube channel and you're putting yourself out there. You might not yet see the numbers, but that doesn't matter because you are growing every day just by being here and showing up for yourself and your business that you're creating. The important thing that I really want to portray here is noticing those subconscious blocks and recognizing that you are so much more than these blocks that are showing up in your life. Awareness is the first step to healing those blocks. Awareness is the first step to unblocking these blocks and recognizing that you deserve success. You deserve all of these things. And the moment that you recognize what's holding you back, that's the moment you can heal and transform that for yourself. Let me know if this was helpful for you and which block resonated with you the most. I would love to hear what that is for you. I'm sending you so much love, and until the next time, bye-bye.